Alright, our next video here is going to deal with creating the holes in the cube, and we'll show you how to do that. So I'm going to go to Creo, and we have our cube here, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on the sketch tool, and we're going to click on one of the surfaces. It doesn't really matter which surface because they're going to have a hole on each side, but I'm going to click on this surface here just because, and then you can see the reference here is the top, and we'll hit sketch, and now we're looking straight at one of the sides of the block of the cube, and we're going to draw a circle, and I'm going to move my mouse to the center where these lines meet, right here in the center, and I'm going to click once and move my mouse out and then click again. Then I'm going to click on the 1 by 1 tool or the arrow tool, and now I have a weak dimension here for the diameter. The diameter is represented by an arrow going all the way across this circle here. And the tutorial wants us to create a diameter of 8. So mine says 11 right now. I'll delete that and I'll type in 8 and press enter, and it resized it. And so there's our circle. Now I'm going to hit the blue check mark for done. And I'm going to use my middle mouse wheel like a button, and we'll click and drag and hold it, and you can see as I rotate this around that we have a circle here, but it's just on the surface. It doesn't go all the way through for a hole yet. So what we do is we're going to click on the extrude button. Make sure sketch 2 is highlighted over here. It's in blue. So if I click off of this, you can see my circle turns blue, but I want it to be red so we know that it's highlighted. So I'm going to click on sketch 2 right there, and it should be should turn red. And we'll click on the extrude, and you can see the circle extrudes out away from the cube. And what we want it to do is go through the cube so that we can make a hole. Now there's two ways to do this. We can click on this arrow right here. You can see it flips the direction, or we can click on this button right here. It says change depth direction. It does the same thing. So either way you want to do that is fine. We'll click there. Now I can drag with that little white box there. I can drag this all the way through the cube. I can change this because this was 30. This cube was 30 in depth here. I can change that 13 to 30, and it goes all the way through. Or I can use this button up here. I'm going to hit this pull down menu, and I'm going to hit this button right here. It says extrude to intersect with all surfaces. I click that, and you can see it pops out the other side. And then the last thing we need to do is hit this button right here, which is remove material, because if I hit the green check mark right now and I leave it as it is, here I'll hit the preview. Sorry, can't do that. Let me redo that real quick. There it is. Okay, I'm sorry. If I were to just do this, it's going to have part of this circle, or part of this cylinder kind of hanging out there. So we want to remove material, and then we can hit the preview button and look at it, and you see there is a hole that goes all the way through it now. So we'll hit the green check mark, and there's one hole. Now the next hole we're going to do is on another surface. Actually, it's not going to be on a surface, but it's going to be on one of these planes here. So we hit sketch, and it wants to know what surface we're going to mess with, and I'm going to rotate around here to see the word top. Now yours might be front or right, whichever side you want to go with. I'm going to use the one here that says top. I'm going to hit sketch. And if you get confused about this, just let me know, and I'll be happy to help you. So I'm going to click on the circle, and again move to the center of the cube here, and click and create my circle, and I'm going to click on the arrow tool, and again I need to change that to 8, the diameter, And there's my circle. So I'm going to hit the blue check mark for done. Now if I rotate this around, you can see that instead of being on this outside surface, my circle is now on the middle of this cube. But we're still going to kind of do the same process here. We're going to extrude. I'm going to click on the extrude tool, and you can see it sort of pops out towards the outside here. But again, it only goes to one side of this this sketch plane that we were on. Now I could flip direction, but it doesn't do. It's just going to be on the other side. So what we do is we go to this pull down menu, and we go to this button again right here. It says extrude on both sides of the sketch plane. And you can see it kind of centers that up. And I want to change this depth here to 30 because that's how thick our cube is. And then I'm going to hit the remove material button again, and I'm going to hit the green check mark. And what we have now is another hole, and you can see that I'm starting to get the holes that we need. Now the last thing we're going to do is we're going to use the hole tool. So we use circles and extruded and remove material. Now we're going to use the actual tool here to make holes. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to rotate this around just a little bit. I'm going to just use my left mouse button, just a regular mouse button here. I'm going to click on top of this surface, and you see there's two green boxes here. I'm going to click on one of these and drag it to this face. I'm going to click on this one and drag it over here to this face. Now this is not centered. We want it to be right over here where these two planes meet. You can see this one here says 11, this one here says 10, but we need to be in the center. So how do we find that? Well, we know that from this edge to this edge was 30. We know from this edge to this edge was 30. So if we divide 30 in half, from here to the center, it should be 15. So I'm going to change this 11 here to 15 and press enter. You can see it moves it over to this datum plane. And I'm going to change this one right here to 15, and it should move it to the center now. So there we go. Now we've got to do a couple more things. The diameter here, you see the circle with a line through it, that means the diameter. The diameter is only 6 on this, but we want it to be 8 like the other two. So I'm going to change that to 8. And there you go. And then we need this to go all the way through. So we can use this white box here and drag it all the way through. Or we can again use this, or we can change this to 30. And that should take it all the way through. Or we can use this pull down menu and go to this button here. It says interact with all surfaces, and there we go. So once we're ready, whichever way we go, doesn't matter. We'll hit the green check mark, and there's our last hole. If you have any questions about that, please feel free to ask. But I know I went through those 3 holes pretty quick, but there's 3 different ways to do that. And if you have any questions, again, just let me know.